speaking of home runs hits, man, we heard from the Pinnacle. We saw them to kick off Dynamite, leaving their limousine riding, suit wearing. And I love that tweet that you posted. I don't know where it came from, but how Pee Wee Herman is joining the Pinnacle because of the gray suit.
Yeah, Nyla Rose dropped a little, little visual of that, and that was really funny. Nyla's hilarious on Twitter. So when you follow her on social, she was on point tonight, man. Between social media and her match later with Legit Layla. But yeah, I mean, to me, when the Pinnacle is wearing suits, you know they mean business, brother. When they come, it's a perfect vibe. And when they come strutting into the building with all decked out in suits, they looked like they were fired up. They had a lot to say tonight. Unpack and unravel a little bit. Yeah, I know, because this is one of your favorite segments of the whole night, right?
It definitely was my favorite segment. I mean, obviously, anytime these two teams get together, it's absolutely pure gold. And I feel like, I was texting Bonds, and I was like, Tony must just have an open check for like what you want to do with each segment. Like, obviously Stadium Stampede was a big high budget, the bubbly bath, and then now this destroying stuff. So it's like this top feud is like, do what you want, and it's just going to run this high tab on it, whatever it takes. And it's great. What I'm liking the most about this feud is everyone getting the chance to shine. You're not having just the leaders. And so it goes the same with the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. You're getting every individual star powers. Dax to start out on the mic, which we absolutely love, Uncle Dax. How I loved his line where he said that him and Santana, or FTR and Santana Ortiz are very similar. They both came from nothing but made something of themselves. And standing across from me, you're in Wardlow's world. Like, Wardlow's was very Wardlow was great on the mic, very clear,
talking about how Hager's
angry.
Obsessed with him.
Yeah. So, and then even Sean Spears had to be cut off because he was so passionate. And of course, I mean, MJF, you can only say so much good stuff about him because he is just pure gold and smooth on the mic.
He is.
Denying him a match, we talked about that in our pre-show. He's 2-0 against Chris Jericho. Where do you go from there? And we've been fantasy booking that Sammy versus MJF match. It's kind of hinting for that. Months ago when Sammy kind of left the Inner Circle, I predicted Sammy is going to give MJF that first L on his record.
That's true.
And it still could be leaning that way. But, Sammy on Twitter was commenting to us like how he has no interest in fighting MJF. But before we talk about what happened with Inner Circle, what do you think about the Pinnacle's promos?
Well, I think that you nailed it too across the board. Like, I love seeing all these guys get the opportunity to shine. That's a big part of it. Dissecting each one, I felt like you just said, MJF versus Sammy, the potential hinting of that down the road. That's a match that I need to see. I think that's a home run pick. I feel when you look at the way the chess pieces are, FTR versus Santana and Ortiz, these are two teams that if you're a tag team mark like I am, if you love tag team wrestling, this is as good as it gets, guys. I mean, this is as good as it gets. And we just got done talking about the Bucks versus the Death Triangle. But when you throw in the veteran presence that both these teams have, the pride that these two crews have, that they both they're not backing down from anybody. That to me is such a home run matchup when you put those two together. And you and I talk a lot about like how fun it is when you see different styles going against each other. When you put two teams that are very similar in styles, like these guys are, just punch you in the mouth. A lot of there's not a lot of this like high spots and all this crazy. These guys are going to grind you down. Just beat you into the mat and push you down. That's the type of vibe that these two teams have. So I feel like two very proud, very strong tag teams with a lot of chemistry together. And honestly, two teams that look at themselves as the top guys in the industry. They're gonna be a lot on the line whenever they lock horns. And so I'm really geeked to see how AEW plays that out and what they give us going forward in that one. We always talk about Wardlow on the in the ring and what the potential he has when they unleash him. But I also felt like he did a great job on the mic. He was very poised, very, like you said, fired up, very fired up, he was very pointed with what he had to say, and put Jake Hager on the spot. So the Pinnacle delivered and then some. I can understand why, this segment hit so hard for you because, when you look at how smooth, polished, angry the Pinnacle was. And I thought that, the commentary crew did a great job in highlighting, like, they lost at Double or Nothing. They came up short. They got to be so embarrassed. I mean, I remember I was hearing all these things, how embarrassed do these guys have to feel that they dropped the ball and all that stuff.
Right.
It adds so much fire to their promo. And when you put, like, those guys on the stick, and then you got to see what followed up afterwards with the Inner Circle.
My gosh.
You had to be grinning ear to ear because it had to be like, this was for me, when you saw the Inner Circle destroying the limo, those guys had to just enjoy every minute of it. That's what I was laughing so hard last night when they did this, because it was like they had to just genuinely be having a lot of fun. They just, like, when Jake Hager drove that forklift into the side of the limo, and, like, at full speed, he and then lifted it up off the ground. Like, imagine being able to do that. Like you said, Tony,
that'd be so fun.
Yeah, Tony just like, guys, do whatever you want. Imagine being Jake Hager and having the opportunity to drive a forklift into a side of a limo and then lift it up off the ground. Just the fun that had to be. Like, these guys have to be enjoying every minute of this feud. It's just an absolute blast. It shows in the product.
Oh, absolutely. And, I thought they were going to just do a couple, like, broken windows and things like that. But when they got the forklift out, oh my gosh, I can't believe it just lifted right off the ground. Like, it was just crumbling. It was absolutely hilarious. And, when you hear Jericho interrupt the promo, you're like, uh-oh, they're outside. What are they up to? And it's like, what are they going to do next? And that's what I can't wait. Finally, we're going to see an interesting cage match next week. So we're going to see a battle. But, like, I feel like Inner Circle is going to constantly keep terrorizing the Pinnacle, and it's going to be so fun, especially once they start going to live crowds. I mean, it's a perfect time for Inner Circle to turn babyface, and they're so over right now, and they're going to continue to get over, and for them to just constantly terrorize the Pinnacle, week in and week out, that's what's going to make it the Summer of Pain, and it's going to be absolutely pure gold and help AEW just elevate that much farther, because of the top group in AEW is the fan favorite, so this stuff is perfect for what they're doing. I can't say enough good stuff about these five guys. Like,
better get an Uber, bitch. I love that line, dude. I was dying.
The Pinnacle's Ubering home. My anytime the five of these guys are on screen, like, my eyes just glue to Santana, because that guy is just so good on screen. He's just so elevating himself, and I just love all the work that he's doing, man. This guy is a pure star, and swagger, he's got so much swagger, and I can't wait to watch him just grow even more in these next coming months with this feud, because Santana is the best, man.
The best. I mean, you're right, brother. I mean, and that's one of the fun parts. One of the unexpected fun things when you get feuds like this, right? Where it's like, it could easily just be, and you've talked to me about this on Jericho, Talk as Jericho. This could easily just be Chris Jericho and his crew against MJF and his crew. It's not presented. It's not presented that way whatsoever. It's really an opportunity for all these guys to shine. Sammy has had his moments where you look at, wow, this guy is a legit. We've all had moments where we felt like that guy is a breakout star. Well, taking that to another level, he continues to, I think, for us, want to see him get those moments, get those opportunities, right? Like you talked about, imagine him being the guy who gives MJF his first loss, clean singles loss. Like Santana has definitely elevated his game in this. Wardlow has gone from just being sort of like a guy who we thought had a ton of potential to a guy that we know has a ton of potential.
Sure.
He's delivering every time he gets an opportunity. The man is checking the boxes. Obviously when you're paired with MJF, you're not going to get a lot of opportunity to get some words in. But Wardlow, when he gets the stick, the guy delivers, man. So I feel like across the board, this is giving different guys week after week opportunities to shine, and we're getting surprised as fans. We're getting treats as fans. Dax, how many times during the rise of the Pinnacle have you stepped back and said, wow, like Dax is a star?
Yeah.
You know, like
Countless times, yeah.
It's across the board in this feud, man. I love how that's going. And the Summer of Pain, the way this whole segment played out, you know, everybody addressed each other. And like you've talked about it week after week. Take the Yahtzee dice, throw them on the table, give us a matchup. Let us see more of it. So we got to see the gang warfare up to this point. We got to see the 5-on-5s up to this point. We're starting to feel like, okay, the clear pieces of these different matches, it's going to stretch into the Summer of Pain, and you're going to see these different matches that we've been wanting to see, the salivating over the potential of this breaking down this feud that much further. Really excited about what's going to happen in the summer.
Man, it is going to be a great Summer of Pain with these guys.